behave yourself. Fire rock and roll all the magazines, yeah. Every time that he gets through, it's off the jukebox man. Well, he worries the teacher till at night she's ready to prove. Rockin' and rollin', spinning in our hula hoop. Well, rockin' and rollin' gotta stop. You better not drop. Now, Junior, behave yourself.
Hi everyone, it's Plastic EP coming in from Melbourne, Australia. I've hit over 1,000 shows, and let me tell you, it gives me such an honour and a privilege with Terry Crain here to do a very special show on Donna Loren's showbiz career. How are you today, Donna? And thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be with you, Plastic. Hello, Terry.
Hello, Donna. I'm honored to be on the show tonight with you and the man himself, Plastic EP. It's a great day.
And let me tell you, it's not every show that I get up and I get dressed up in my original Plastic EP uniform there. That's from the 80s, and my beautiful glasses that were on my musical journey. But let's get straight into Donna. And Donna, now I want to go on the highlights of your fantastic career, because it is fantastic. I'll just run through a few things. You were born in Boston, Massachusetts. How was that?
How was that? Well, we're all born somewhere.
Now, also, I want to say, when you were 10 years old, right, you ended up being on the Mickey Mouse show. And let me tell you, that's such a big thing, because that was a national show, and that actually was worldwide. That was sold to Australia, and we actually saw that show. I don't know if you know that.
That's excellent. Oh, well, I'm sure it's international. I mean, Mickey Mouse is everywhere. He's even in Paris.
Of course, there's a Disneyland there. Of course, you're hinting to that. But let me tell you now, what was it like appearing on that show? And what was it like the next day it was aired, or when it was aired? Because that must have been like the greatest thing as a 10-year-old.
That was right on my birthday. And well, here's a little side story. First of all, I got to meet the number one Mouseketeer for all of the people in America was Annette. She was the darling. She was the sweetheart of America. And in person, she matched exactly what her personality projected. So I was very, very happy to meet her. But, you know, I was just a little girl. And I got to look up to her because she was 14 and towering over me. And there was another Mouseketeer. Her name was Cheryl. And she was just as sweet as she could be as well. At any rate, I thought it was pretty funny that they chose a song for me called I Didn't Know the Gun Was Loaded. And, and I'll never, never do it again.
Yee-hee! Hi, partners!
Hi, Nicky!
Well, this here's our roundup day, so you all pretty nigh ready? Shown up! Then let's get on with it.
Saddle your pony, here we go, down to the talent rodeo. Gather up Susie, Jack, and Joe, join the talent roundup. Round 'em up, bring 'em in, everybody's sure to win. Step right up, here we go, oh, what a rodeo. Bring along Tommy, Bob, and Bill, ask everybody on the hill. We're gonna have a great big thrill, here comes Donna Zucker. Hi, Donna. Hi, Musketeers. Welcome to Dry Gulch. Every time it rains, pennies from heaven. Don't you know each cloud contains pennies from heaven? You'll find your fortune falling all over town. Be sure that your umbrella is upside down. Trade them for a package of sunshine and flowers. If you want the things you love, you must have showers. So when you hear thunder, don't run under a tree. There'll be pennies from heaven for you and me. Every time it rains, pennies from heaven. Don't you know each cloud contains pennies from heaven? You'll find your fortune falling all over town. Just be sure that your umbrella is upside down. Yeah. Trade them for a package of sunshine flowers. If you want the things you love, you must have showers. So when you hear thunder, don't run under a tree. There'll be pennies from heaven for you and me. When I order a chocolate malt, I don't mean vanilla. Oh, Miss Steffi was her name. Through the West she won her fame, being handy with guns, but she drove the men insane. 'Cause she'd whip out her pistols and shoot most any guy, then sing out the lullaby. I didn't know the gun was loaded, and I'm so sorry, my friend. I didn't know the gun was loaded, and I'll never, never do it again.
Howdy, Effie. Effie!
But Sheriff! Now one night she made a slip, shot the sheriff in the hip. So the law took a hand and made Effie take the stand. And she pled, "Oh, Your Honor, I know you'll turn me loose when you hear my one excuse. I didn't know the gun was loaded, and I'm so sorry, my friend. I didn't know the gun was loaded, and I'll never, never do it again."
Jury, have you reached a verdict?
We have, Your Honor. We find the defendant not guilty. Yes, the jury all agreed that Miss Steffi should be freed, but the sheriff's jealous wife was indignant, yes indeed. So she borrowed a pistol and shot that village belle, and sang as Miss Steffi fell. I didn't know the gun was loaded, and I'm so sorry, my friend. I didn't know the gun was loaded, and I'll never, never do it again. I didn't know the gun was loaded, and I'm so sorry, my friend. I didn't know the gun was loaded, and I'll never, never do it. She'll never, never do it. I'll never do it again.
In 1963 to 1968, and you became a Dr. Pepper girl. I mean, how big is that? How old were you when they signed you up?
Yes, I was actually just beginning to be a junior at Venice High School in West Los Angeles. And now Venice, Venice was named after, of course, the Venice in Italy. And in California, Venice also had canals. And of course, we were right next to the ocean. So that's where I grew up. And I just turned 16 when I went for an audition, which was crazy because I didn't know there was a nationwide search. It just turned out that suddenly my agent called me and gave me a first class ticket to fly to Chicago from Los Angeles on a red carpet. And I had never even been on a plane before. So they gave me the first class treatment. And my chaperone was my adopted father and also my manager. And when we arrived, they put us up in this glorious hotel, gave me a penthouse suite. It was just insane, called the Water Tower Inn, right next to, what's the lake? Lake Michigan, I think.
Yeah.
At any rate, so I show up for the audition and I walk into a big dark soundstage. And there is a girl sitting on a high stool in front of a camera, looking like, Miss Teenage America. And she's speaking to the camera and being directed to say what she's supposed to say. And I'm just standing there watching. And then she said, okay, she's finished. And she leaves. Then it's my turn. And the director tells me, okay, you climb up on that stool, turn your back to the camera, shove off, and when you hit the camera, just say a few things about yourself. So I climbed on the stool, I shoved off a little too hard because I missed the camera. I had to fish my way around to get back into view. And then I said, hi, I'm Donna Loren. And they hired me.
As you go through the Dr. Pepper stuff, I was looking back through Donna's book, which is the Pop 60s book here. And I had ordered, even pre-ordered this. So I've had this quite a while, which is a great book, Donna. I love it. I love it.
Honey.
But if you go look through that EP, and Donna, I think what comes out to me is the wealth of things, Donna, that you got to do as a Dr. Pepper, whether it was commercials or dramatic roles in films or beach films or all these television shows you were on or commercials you were on or parades going through towns everywhere that you were, or a recording career, that all was connected as the Dr. Pepper. And they kept you busy. My gosh, you were everywhere. See, and I'm sure that was how they did that, but I'm just, it's almost blows me away how much you were involved with everything that went on at that time.
Hi, I'm Donna Loren. Many words can describe Dr. Pepper. Here's how our caveman friends do it.
Now that you all have a bottle of Dr. Pepper, I want you to take a taste and then give me your reaction in one word. Remember now, one word. Flavor. Lift.
Light!
Lively. Zonk.
The soft drink with zonk? Well, that's one way to praise Dr. Pepper. Here's mine. Good times begin with Dr. Pepper. Distinctively different Dr. Pepper. Not a cola or a root beer, a light and lively taste that you cheer. The lift is great, the flavor fine, it's Dr. Pepper time. Hi, I'm Donna Loren. Our caveman friends will even try safe cracking to get a Dr. Pepper. Watch. Well, Bunyan can beat the others to it, but he knows that. Good times begin with Dr. Pepper, distinctively different Dr. Pepper. Not a cola or a root beer. Both Dr. Pepper and Diet Dr. Pepper have that light and lively taste enjoyed by millions. The lift is great, the flavor fine, it's Dr. Pepper time. Hi, I'm Donna Loren. Dr. Pepper makes an ideal gift for your true love, but watch out for rivals. Harmon will forgive Bunyan because he knows that good times begin with Dr. Pepper. Distinctively different Dr. Pepper. Not a cola or a root beer, a light and lively taste that you'll cheer. The lift is great, the flavor fine, it's Dr. Pepper time.
Yeah, well, let me just clarify that, when I signed the contract, first of all, I was a minor. And they channeled my energy, to advertise or widen their audience to teenagers from coast to coast. Whereas when I was hired, that was a regional product. Dr. Pepper was a Southern-based drink in Dallas and then went throughout the Midwest and the South. They wanted to expand coast to coast. And so that's when they hired me to appeal to a wider audience. Okay, so then I was hired to make radio commercials, television commercials, and personal appearances for them, okay? Now, when it came time, for instance, a year later, after I began my process with them and traveled the country, I independently went for an audition to be on Shindig. So that had nothing to do with Dr. Pepper.
Okay.
But let me just say, after all this time has gone by, I wonder why Dr. Pepper didn't advertise on Shindig. Isn't that perplexing? That's their audience they're trying to appeal to.
Sure.
And it's a coast-to-coast national, network television show that was rated #1, that I was on like 26 times, for goodness sake. With some of the most innovation that you can imagine.
Yeah.
And of course, it's classic now.
Sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows, everything that's wonderful is what I feel when we're together. Brighter than a lucky penny when you're near. The rain clouds disappears, dear, and I feel so fine. Just to know that you're mine. My life is sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. That's how the sweet rain goes. So come on and join in. Everybody's sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. Everything that's wonderful is sure to come your way when you're in love today. Sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. Everything that's wonderful is what I hear when we're together. Brighter than a lucky penny when you're near. The rain clouds disappear, dear, and I feel so fine. Just to know that you are mine. My life is sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. trip round the way. Hey, 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 yeah, see what you do. My mama says, I'm just your lips. I get it through to my feet. Say, hey, 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 hey. Well, see what you do. Well, I'm not bad boy. Don't you know me, boy? When I'm talking about boy now, yeah, boy. When I'm talking about boy, what a bundle of joy.
And then, of course, when Shindig was over, I auditioned I didn't really have to audition much for Batman. And that replaced Shindig when it was canceled. So that was independent as well.
Hiya, gang.
Ah, sweet Sue, shiniest of my bad pennies.
Boy, Joker, you sure are some card. Popping out at school like that at Batman.
Wondrously whimsical, wasn't it?
It was real crazy if you ask me. I might have fainted and given the whole game away.
However, you didn't. Ah, I see you have the stuff.
Of course.
Any trouble getting it?
Heck no. Like I told you, being chief cheerleader puts me on the student council. Once you're on that, you can get away with anything.
Oh, let's see.
Hands off, not until I get paid.
Trusting little wench, aren't you?
I'm a crook, Joker, just like you. Now, where's the payoff?
Oh. Hiya there, lamb chop. You busy tonight?
You lowlife, get away from me.
Now, look here, baby. I have
Are you
plans.
stupid or something? The reason I've taken up crime is so I can get a taste of the finer things in life.
Yeah.
Now, beat it!
Shut your eyes, sweet Susie.
Oh, yeah? And get an exploding cigar in my ear? No, thanks.
You mischievous moppet, shut your eyes, I said. A rhinestone bracelet, a fox fur stole, and 1 full quart of imported Mexican perfume.
Oh, gee, Joker. I'm sorry I sassed you. Why, this is like some lovely dream.
Dr. Pepper was involved in my choosing to do one other commercial, and that had to do with my ability to design clothing and, and sew. And so I did one commercial with their permission.
Yeah.
And that was Simplicity Pattern commercial.
Hi, I'm Donna Loren. See this dress? I made it. Scout's honor. It's a Simplicity Jiffy pattern. Great for school. Sewing's my hobby. It's fun. You're all thumbs? I was too. But Jiffies are the easiest patterns around. This dress I'm wearing has only 3 main pattern pieces. Try it. Before you know it, you'll go on to this Jiffy. This Jiffy. This Jiffy. And this Jiffy. They're all in the Simplicity catalog at the pattern counter. Besides Jiffy's, it has hundreds of other patterns. Something for everyone. Come on, give it a go-go. If I can sew, you can sew.
So it was a combination,
Okay.
I had an extended contract with them for 7 years, which I decided at 5 years to retire. And it's kind of still pending, you never know. I still have 2 years.
Exactly.
Now, I got to say, the amazing thing is, doing the Dr. Pepper thing, there was billboards on you. You did hundreds of appearances, live appearances, which is mind-blowing for back then. So you were there, right, as I said, with the youth of America growing up with you as the Dr. Pepper girl. You appealed to everyone. But I got to say, with calendars and things, you appealed to the males growing up in the US like you were the pin-up girl, as far as I'm concerned, an American icon, and you covered it all, whether that be acting, singing, you know, being on live shows, being on the Hollywood Palace. You know, the things that you did just elevated you at the right time. Like, you're there in pop culture, going higher and higher with your career. Especially, I've got to tell you, the Monkees, Batman, right, Gomer Pyle, and even you were on Dr. Kildare. But the first three shows, I can tell you, that etched you in pop culture forever. Anyone in any of those shows in 1966 or 67 was it. It was red hot. It was like you either got it or you didn't. And you were embedded in those TV shows forever. You will live on forever just in those TV shows, Donna.
Thank you, Plastic.
I love your hair.
I love your hair.
I love your eyes.
I love your eyes.
I love your nose. I love your mouth.
I love your mouth.
I love your neck.
I love your neck.
I love you.
My handsome prince.
Wait. I want to be honest with you. I'm not ready to get married.
Oh, Davy, you must marry me. If you don't, my father will make me marry Vidaru.
Isn't there anything you can do about it?
No. Only you can save me from him.
That is enough. Our ancient laws do not permit further contact at the first meeting.
Don't fail me, Davy. Oh, Davy, it's so nice spending these last few moments alone.
What do you mean, these last few moments?
At sundown, we must separate, and then we're forbidden from seeing each other until the wedding.
Oh. Then we'd better kiss a little faster. Colette, do you think I'll be all right as a prince? You know, I've never done this type of thing before.
Well, I'm sure you have the talent. But if you ever need any luck, this will help.
Oh, that's sweet, an Arabian Cupid.
No, Davy, someone's trying to kill you.
We're going to move on to the beach movies because culturally, you've got to understand. Here in Australia, we didn't have a beach culture. Until you did those American international movies, right? And you sang on it and you were featured. There's such a big thing here in Australia's culture with Frankie Avalon and F. Funicello. They're watching these movies every weekend on repeats here in Australia because we had no beach culture until we saw these movies. You could go down to the beach, you know, you could listen to the Beach Boys. You could hear yourself singing on these songs. You saw the American beach life, the California style. I mean, we never had that. We got that, grabbed it, and made it our own culture in the early 60s.
And what about, when did surfing become a sport in Australia? I mean, you must have great surf there.
Of course, we got surf beaches everywhere. I've got to say, this is going through the 50s, but we didn't find our culture. It wasn't like, I can tell you, until the beach movies came out, 1963, 64, right? It's like that's when everyone got the station wagon. We call it station wagon here, loaded it up with eskies. That's the little box with drinks inside, got the surfboards on the car and started going out to the surf beaches and surfing and bringing along their little radios and doing what you guys were doing on the beach first.
Okay.
That's why we didn't find ourselves until the beach movies. That's how important you are to Australian culture.
Okay, well, you know, that was such a long time ago. And I feel like the American dream is what you're talking about. And the American dream that became an international dream and so many people's desire to be able to live that dream. And what did we have to go through to have that period? And right now, there's many of us who have felt that the culture that you're describing has been lost. That American dream has been covered over with so many layers. And I I am seeking to take some of those layers off and not go back to the 60s, but extract some of the beautiful aspects of it that you appreciate and create or manifest them once again as principles, as ideals to share with the world. You agree?
Yeah, but to me, it's the golden age. You've got to understand, it's the golden age of music, the golden age of surf, the golden age of the California sound and the California beaches. Like, you're there with Frankie and Annette in these movies that last forever. It's like that is still our image in our head, even in 2023, of this golden age period of Australia and of America's surf, sound, and music. I mean, your movies that you played in, right? I'm just saying, the Beach Party films, and of course you did the album the Beach Blanket Bingo soundtrack, right? And you had your signature song for that album, It Only Hurts When I Cry. And then you were in all the other movies, right? And you did Muscle Bustle and like Beach Blanket Bingo. You understand, these are classics that live forever. If you want to see 60 movies, they're the ones to watch. Along with all the spy movies of the 60s, it's like that kind of culture that is so embedded there, it never breaks. It's like the golden age of whatever was of the media, and you're in there. That is like, you'll never be forgotten in your whole life. It will live on forever, just those movies, believe me.
Thank you. Thank you, Plastic.
Okay, ready?
It only hurts when I cry. It only hurts when I cry.
Go, Donna!
You asked me if I ever long for him since we said goodbye. Sure, I get sad, but it's not too bad. It only hurts when I cry. You see, I hardly even think of him as time goes slowly by. I just go on, there's nothing wrong. It only hurts when I cry. Sure, I remember our first kiss, the way I loved him then. Sometimes I think a love like this could never happen again. So please don't worry if I sigh for him. You know that I'll get by. I'll just pretend it's not the end. It only hurts when I cry. 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 Sure, I remember our first kiss, the way I loved him then. Sometimes I think a love like this could never happen again. So please don't worry if I sigh for him. You know that I'll get by. I'll just pretend it's not the end. It only hurts when I cry. It only hurts when I cry. It only hurts when I cry. It only hurts when I cry.
Shop 101 is a new dance craze that they're gonna teach. The only place to learn is down at Muscle Beach. Flex up your biceps and that's how it goes. You turn your head and you strike up a pose. Do the mashed potatoes and you stick out your chest. The guys are looking good, but the girls are looking best. Everybody do it now. Move a little muscle now. Everybody kick the sand, come on now. Just like a muscle man. gotta do is give it a try. Yes, love's a secret weapon. So come on and take my advice. You'll find that love is kind of nice. It's time you started to believe. That's how Adam was won by Eve. Oh, that's the secret of the whole affair. Give a little love and tender care. If you're gonna get him and keep him there, then love's the secret weapon. So come on, take my advice. Well, you find that love is kind of nice. It's time you started to believe. 'Cause that's how Adam was won by Eve. Oh, that's the secret of the whole affair. Give a little love and tender care. If you're gonna get him and keep him there, then love's a secret weapon. Then love's a secret weapon. Yes, love's a secret weapon. Yeah!
Out where the sun shines bright all day, down the coast toward Malibu way. That's where we dance, that's where we swim, where there's a her for every him, 'cause that's the way it's done among the young. Suntan boys in surfer pants, teaching all the girls the latest dance. We walk the dog, we do the twist, we do the swim, yeah, it goes like this, 'cause that's the way it's done among the young. Girls in bikinis steal the show. Yeah, walking down the beach to and fro. It's summertime, we have a ball. We live it up, yeah, till the fall. 'Cause that's the way it's done among the young. Among the young. That's the way it's done among the very young. That's the way it's done among the very young. And that's the way it's done among the young. 'Cause that's the way it's done among the young.
Well, I'm so thrilled that you enjoy it so much,
Yeah.
and that you have a community that, has access to what we created and what was created, and I got to be a part of.
EP, I was looking for something today. Since I'm doing my next research, I'm doing a lot of copyright stuff. I'm looking at copyrights for the Beatles and the Beatles related stuff and all that. So I'm looking at the Library of Congress, looking around, and I thought, I'm going to talk to Donna Loren tonight. I'm going to look in the Library of Congress with my research and see if Donna Loren shows up on any copyrights or anything.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I might not. Well, EP, what comes up in front of me that Donna Loren is mentioned in 2 copyrights in the United States Library of Congress? And they relate to just what you were talking about earlier, Donna, because in July 1st of 65, and you probably can't see it the way it is, so I blew it up to show it for you right there. there's a card in the Library of Congress, and it says Simplicity Pattern Company. Copyright. If I can sew, you can sew, says Donna Loren.
Yes. I'm just a silly so-and-so.
There's one for, I think it's July 1st of 65. And I think there's one on like January 1st of 66. So they must have had two of them and since they used your name in the title, I guess, on the whole pattern, you, Donna, are in the Library of Congress. Isn't that pretty cool?
Yes. Well, that's very interesting that you did that research. And you know what was really cool is that I got to meet one of the iconic photographers of the time that was hired to do the commercial. And his name was Francesco Scavolo. And if anyone wants to check that out. And you know, I still have the Polaroids that he used to test the film.
Wow.
Because he not only did print for magazines, but he also did a film for commercials. And that was a very memorable day in New York.
When you look back on your fabulous career, and it is, because as I said, I want to emphasize to everyone out there, you know, your career just went up, up, and up. And there's no performer or superstar that I can think of that has covered everything. To perform live at clubs with Bobby Sherman, you know, and these clubs you went and played live was unbelievable. And this is during the Pepper age, and you were doing hundreds of appearances with people, public.
Bobby and I appeared with Jerry and the Pacemakers, actually, and Freddie and the Dreamers in New York, based on the Shindig format. So we took Shindig to New York. But I should highlight the Dick Clark Caravan of Stars tour, which I stayed on for about 3 weeks. And what he would do is he would bring on established artists such as the Shirelles, and you know, with hit songs that are already, you know, so-called classics, like Will You Love Me Tomorrow or something like that. And then he would bring in like the top 10 artists at the time. It was Round Robin and Gene Pitney, and then he would bring on someone that was new, and that was the Supremes on the tour that I was on. And when they began, no one knew who they were, and their songs had not been chart busters yet. By the time I left the tour, they continued, and they ended their tour with them being Where Did Our Love Go was #1. Now, there again, I have to say, looking back, when Dick Clark announced me, he and I did work for Dr. Pepper together. The first time I met Dick Clark was on a show that was called the Celebrity Party on ABC television. I think you can go on my YouTube channel and see it. And it was at a house in the Hollywood Hills that was the manager of Fabian and Frankie. His name was Bob Marcucci. And I was told by Dr. Pepper, this was right after I made my first commercials, to go to that location. And as soon as I arrived, I met Dick Clark for the first time. And he gave me a microphone and he said, "We're co-hosting." So I had to assume that role with him. And then they told me, "And you're performing." So literally I did 3 or 4 songs, you know. One I did live, and I ended up playing the piano for myself. Oh my goodness.
You know, every time you and I meet, whether it's out by the pool or here, I always say, I think Donna is somewhere else. As co-hostess, I think she's about to pound the piano out in the patio. Donna?
Well, won't you come home, Bill Bailey? Won't you come on home? I'm on that whole day long. I'll some of that rent, 'cause I know it, I done you wrong. Do you remember that rainy evening? I put you out with nothing but a vine to go. I know I'm to blame, but ain't that a shame? Betty, won't you please come on home? Well, won't you come home, Billy, Betty? Won't you come home? I'm old and I grown, moaning and I groan that all day long. I'll do that cooking, honey. I'll even pay some of that rent, 'cause I know it, I done you wrong. Yes, do you remember that rainy evening? I put you out, well, with nothing, yes, nothing but a vine to go. I know I'm to blame, really ain't that a shame? Well, baby, won't you please, yeah, come on home, won't you come on, baby, won't you come on home? I'm on down that road, moaning and a groaning that all day long. I'll do that cooking for ya, I'll even pay some of that rent. I know it, I know it, I done you wrong. Remember that rainy evening? I put you out, well, with nothing, yes, another but a vine to go. I know I'm to blame, that ain't that a shame? Well, baby, won't you please, Betty, won't you please? Yes, Betty, won't you please?
Now that's fantastic. I've actually seen that. But what I also want to mention with Shindig, now if you watch carefully your clips, there's one clip where you got Billy Preston playing the organ. Now Billy Preston is with you like in 64, and then he's with the Beatles in 69. So what I'm saying is you got him first. And not only that, there's a song that you did where Elvis's guitarist, before he was Elvis's guitarist, James Burton, does a lead break. I mean, you don't go higher than that in a musical career.
Yes, it was it's like all an experience. You don't realize it when you're in it. It's looking back to see who has really, extended their career. I retired at 21. James played probably through his 70s at least. And Billy, unfortunately, had a shorter life. But yes, he actually, I just saw, and I recommend highly, a documentary film on Little Richard. My husband Jared and I watched just last night, and he found Billy Preston. And check it out, Terry. I don't recall exactly what year it was, if it was 58, 59, 60, around there. And for your audience, I did meet Little Richard on a local Los Angeles record promotion show. We used to have several in Los Angeles on all the local stations. And one was Sam Riddle, and one was Wink Martindale, and another one, Lloyd Thaxton, and we would all, like the Righteous Brothers and Sonny and Cher, and I would constantly be rotating and promoting whatever record we were making. And and Little Richard, I happened to be on one of those shows with.
This world is so small that everything comes together. We're talking about Bobby Sherman, and I love the guy. And I just interviewed the guy that wrote Julie, Julie, Do You Love Me? I just interviewed him last week. He wrote the song and he was there for the sessions for Bobby Sherman. Oh. How does the world come around? Not only that, Donna, last night I saw this pilot, this one on the Danny Thomas hour, right, where you play a Greek girl, right? With the two other actors, and the other actor, right? You can tell me his name. He just played on the Greek wedding #3. So the other guy played on the Monkeys when the Monkeys were the hillbillies, and he was teaching Mickey Dolenz how to don't use the knife and a fork. I don't know if you remember that. There's two brothers that you got. You go by the name Penny, and you got two brothers in the.
Oh, Michael, and I don't recall the other.
Yeah, but I'm saying the other guy played in a Monkey episode. He played in the Monkeys Go Hillbillies.
I know who you're talking about now.
That guy that's the lead just played in the Greek my Greek Fat Wedding 3.
Yeah. So I'll tell you a little story. So there was a scene where I was playing with Michael Considine, and he came into my bedroom and he was trying to, be a big brother and tell me, what would be good for me. And I didn't want to listen. So I remember going to the closet to put some clothes on because I was just getting out of bed. And he's following me around, and I opened the door, and oh my goodness, for real, the door hooked onto his toe, and he had to be rushed to the hospital, and he came back several hours later with a cast. And the show must go on, and he continued working.
Donna, you're, like I said, I find you in everything that went on back then and all that with the entertainment and all. But they even had your name on there was a column, newspaper column that you did, and then yes, and then I think I saw where you gave out some Grammy awards sometime. You were presented at the Grammy Awards.
I did. I know. I think that might have been the very first televised Grammys, and it was Jonathan Winters and myself presenting the Song of the Year award to Henry Mancini. Ironically, many years later, in the early 80s, I fell in love with a place called Sedona. And actually, I wrote a song about it, which James Burton liked enough to put the Elvis band together, and we went in the studio, and you can hear it. It became a record. At any rate, I got very excited about the beautiful Red Rock Mountains, these gorgeous monuments in Sedona, Arizona. And I got involved with an art center that had a natural bowl that had perfect acoustics. So I partnered with an artist, a local artist who was also an architect. Now, there was now I can't remember the product, but anyway, he rendered the Marlboro Man. It was the image of the cowboy in a yellow slick raincoat with his hat on, slouched over a horse. Okay, that was James Reynolds. He rendered an architectural drawing of an amphitheater. And to start funding that project for the Arts Center, I found Henry Mancini. All these years later, he flew into Sedona, and I hired the Flagstaff Symphony, who he conducted, and we raised money to begin the project.
That's awesome.
So, as you say, things go round and round.
Yes.
Now, I just want to say, Donna, when you look back on your career, for all your fans that love you out there, I mean, when you look back at your memories, what is it you'd like to tell everyone out there that loves you and is your fan?
Oh, my goodness. Well, I started a podcast called Love's a Secret Weapon. And every episode has a fan guest part of the reading of my autobiography. And I have been meeting so many beautiful people that have followed me for so many years, even though I've been retired. And there's an energy that we exchange, just like you and Terry and I. It's about sharing our love together and getting to know one another and feeling like there's always something that we have in common. And so that's been very enriching. The pandemic came along and it destroyed so many lives, but for me, I found a way and a path to create this ability to communicate with people that I've only seen from a distance. And I call them into my life so we can spend time together. And it is very, very precious.
I just want to say, I want everyone to go to donnaloren.com, right? A fantastic website. Everything's there that you need to see about Donna. There's merchandise, there's a book, there's photos, there's everything there. It's just a treasure trove of your career. And you know the great thing, Donna, doing this show, I'm just saying, to me, is an honor, and it's Terry's honor as well, just to be able to spend this time with you and run through your fantastic, fabulous career, because you are an American icon, a superstar, make no doubt about it. And no one has done what you've done in your career, an all-round entertainer. It's not just one thing. It's all those fascinating things that you did, whether that be concerts, whether it be live shows, whether it be singing, whether it be recording, whether it be on television, whether it be on movies. You can rest assured that you've done it all.
Thank you, Plastic. It's such a pleasure being with you, both.
Thank you, Donna.
And I don't think people understand the wealth across of everything you've done. But, you know, and I'll do it again, that your Pop 60s book, if you just go page by page, the next page brings something else that you did that I'm going, oh, you're kidding. I could turn the page and there's something else that goes on. It goes on and on. And the things you were involved in, and the things, like you said, now that it's over with, you look back and you didn't realize at that time the amazing things that were going on at that time. But now you can look back and contemplate and look at those things. But it's great, and I love that era fascinates me. And that's why a book like this and talking to you like this just brings it all into way more focus that way. We love it.
Thank you. You know, I had 2 printings of that book and it's sold out. So if somebody wants the book, you know, there'll have to be enough for them to reprint it. I'll have to let that publisher know there's enough of you out there to have a 3rd printing.
Just want to thank you again, Donna, and I just want you to know that you are a true American superstar. Make no doubt. And we thank everyone for watching this.
Bless you so much. And hello, everyone down under.